Welcome back, guys. So, last episode we just finished it off with the tutorial. Here we have arrived at Firelink Shrine. So, we were told to come to the land of the Ancient Lords. Here we are in the land of Ancient Lords, and all we know is we need to ring a bell.
Well, what do we have here? Let me guess. Fate of the undead, but there's no celebration.
I'll say, pretty much tells us we're nothing special. Thanks, guy.
But, well, there are actually
Two bells, not one.
one's up above
What a
in
plot
the
twist.
undead church. The other is far, far below.
Alright, so we've got one up in the church, and we've got one down in Blytown.
Both. Not much to go on. So, off you go.
Now, even though that guy was a bit rude, we're not actually going to kill him. The main reason being that if we hit him, and from memory he's actually relatively buff, every time he kills you and you respawn, he's sitting there and he just wants blood. He just hates you forever, and it's not a good time. So we're just going to let that guy be rude and just ignore him. We're going to start our loot run. We're going to go through and go the wrong way right off the bat. But yeah, oh my gosh. Alright, I've changed my mind. I'm taking off my top too. Yeah, that's better. Whoa, look at that stampy feet run. He's lifting his knees high. He's doing good. So I like to go from right to left to do the loot run through here. We've got this guy here.
I am Petrus of Firelink.
Petrus.
If not,
He pretty much says, "Why are you talking to me?"
hello there. I realize that I have, but I also want you to hear. No.
And then he says, "Actually, that was a bit rude. Have this coin."
Oh, I have to await. So what if would that?
He says he's waiting for someone. So
Very well. Now, only their ultimate.
okay. So for some reason, your covenant actually travels through
Come
saves.
again. The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
Anyway, so he's got a covenant. He's actually the start of a quest
I
line.
will teach you
Um,
miracles. A promise is a promise.
I shouldn't have exited just before because I'm going to learn the gesture of shrug. I think there is an achievement for doing them all, and he does sell some stuff for if you are doing a faithy kind of build, which I will not. Even though there is some fun builds you can do in this game, like there's so much freedom to choose what kind of character you want. One of the ones that I really like is where you do a faith, like a soldier of faith, and you have a nice big weapon in your. But you scale your weapon off faith, which is cool. So you can actually mix up your playstyles a wee bit. So we're just coming through here. We're just going to pick up some loot. Cracked red eye orbs. They are for invading other players' worlds. They are one-time use, and there is some more faith kind of gear. Homeward bones. Now they are actually useful. They will return you to the last bonfire rested at. So if you get in a sticky situation, you can just get on out of there. Lloyd talismans, I'm pretty sure, are used for attracting enemies, I think. It's been a long time. Alright, so we are actually going to do a little bit of a loot run down here, and disclaimer, we are probably going to die. Because these enemies are pretty tough. This is not a recommended area to go at the start. But in saying that, there is some really easy accessible gear down here that will help you level up and kind of get stronger. And there is one in particular that I want. So we're going to come over here first, and we're going to grab, I believe it's a soul. Yep, soul of undead. And we're going to try and get past all these guys without dying. Another soul. That's some good stuff. I did miss a shield just back there. I'm actually not going to bother. And there is some binoculars down that path, which I'm also not going to bother, just because I don't use them. Now this one here usually gets me killed because I get stuck behind the big skeleton, but I didn't, so that was good. Alright, so that's all the loot I wanted to get from here. And it was reasonably successful. I would like to say I didn't die. And we've got some mobs following us, which is why I come this way. Number one, there is an item here. And number two, if you drop down here, you can kind of entice the enemies to suicide. One of them did, which I got 50 souls, while the other ones didn't. So I'm going to hit this just so I can... Oh, I can't hit it. They're too close. They should leash though. They shouldn't actually be able to come this far. So, yeah, he's starting to walk back. Yeah, catch you later, bro. See ya. So they have leashed, which will let us use the bonfire. I was kind of hoping to get to the bonfire so I didn't have to wait around. So that's that part of the loot run. I'm actually going to use those souls I got. Which is the main reason why I did the loot run. There was two main reasons. One is I wanted to use those souls so I can get some nice early game XP. As you see, 200, 200. So we're at 600 souls so far. That's good. And then these ones here dropping a 400 souls. So we're at 1400 souls. And I'm going to level up. I'm going to put it all into strength for now. And I'm still not strong enough to use the Zweihander. The other reason why I did do that loot run was mainly for the Zweihander. I will show you why once I get one more strength so I can equip it. Now she is a firekeeper. She doesn't have a tongue, but she is used for increasing the uses of your Estus flask. I mean, not the uses, sorry, the amount it heals, the strength of your Estus flask. Yeah, so at the moment she's pretty much useless to us, but very shortly we will see more. Now this is, I'm heading off the beaten track. Really, we should have headed up that hill that I will show you later. But what I am doing is I'm doing a loot run. Now, I would recommend most of this, not all of this. I mean, it depends on what items you want. Pretty much because it's just a good head start. And if you do struggle with this game, like, why would you not take a head start? I mean, the head start's pretty much given to you. I don't bother killing these guys. I think they only drop 20 souls or something. Yeah, 20 souls. So they're not really worth killing. I mean, if you really wanted to grind that little bit of experience, I mean, go for it, but I'm not too worried. The S-Stock, there's also a great early game weapon for, like, kind of more shield builds where, you know, where you kind of... I think they scale off dex from memory. Amazing weapons, amazing weapons. I've had some good games for them. Alright, so Transient Curse allows us to interact with the mobs in this place, which is, I believe, New Londo, or Analondo Ruins? New Londo Ruins? Let's find out. We are not actually going to use them. We are going to grab an item and then run away. Because this is kind of a, not a late game, I'd say like a mid-game place, and we're still very much in the early game stages of the game. But there is one item in particular that I do want to get from here. As you see, lots of people do try to do this early game run, so it's quite common for people to do it. And success. So that was the Firekeeper Soul, and I did use the Homeward Bone to get out of there unscathed. I probably didn't have many souls. I had 753, but I didn't want to waste them. Yeah, kind of cheap, I know, but those things would have really messed me up if I, you know, as you saw, there was a fair few bloodstains. Now I can show you what reinforcing the Estus Flask does do. You give her the shard, she enforces your Estus. Now you see it says Estus Flask +1, so now my flask is more effective. I'm going to continue on this loot run because this is kind of my staple way of doing this game. As you notice, I'd already sent the elevator up because it is always frustrating when you go to walk on the elevator and it's not there and you fall to your death. And I've done that countless times. So I always get into the habit of sending the elevator back up. Now, so we've checked that out. There is one more thing I want to show you here before we continue on to the next area of the loot run.
More important, well, I'm Ricky. I was once an established. Can you?
He's a sorcerer. I do not use him, but I thought I'd show you here. He's also a blacksmith.
How about this? I'll show you what makes.
We can't actually do any of that now. We could purchase items off him now if we were a sorcerer, but
Come back soon.
nah, just no one. It's not my playstyle, and we're just kind of not ready to do anything like that at the moment. We're just kind of getting a bit of experience behind us. I will. Yeah. Oh, this is actually where the master key. First time I use it, I always use it. This is why I grab the master key. Straight off the bat, you use it and you get a big soul. Straight away, you know, it's worth it. There is two ways you can go from here. If we were to head this way, which I'm actually not going to go, there is a few items there. I believe it's I think it's a storage short sword or something, which is actually a magic sword. And there is also like a shield and stuff. But you're almost, at this point in the game, you're almost guaranteed to get one hit by that dragon, or half a dragon, that is guarding it. So I'm going to skip those because I don't need them, but they are there. You can't homeward bone out of that situation, but you can just suicide run it, pretty much. So I'm going, this is Blight Town, and this is probably the... Ooh, that was close. Probably the next area you go to ring the second bell. You can actually do the second bell first, like it's not actually the second bell, but I would recommend doing this bell second. There is a few reasons why I'm here, and we will find out how successful / unsuccessful this run is. For one, sometimes those ogres drop off, so we could have gotten some souls, but we didn't. So that was a fail. Oh no, he jumped off. There we go. 500 XP. You see, like that was pretty good XP. I would recommend killing this guy. Would you? Because I'm doing no damage. Oh, I don't have the Zweihander. Yeah, I don't have the Zweihander actually. That's what's wrong here. I'm still running that beginning sword. Now, I always get lost here, but there is an item that I really want to get. I'm just trying to think of the easiest way to get there. Because this place is a killer of a place. Not a fan of Blight Town. You get poisoned, you just get destroyed pretty much. There is an item down there that I will... Oh, I'm toxic. Alright, so that is really bad news because that actually probably means I'm gonna die here. 1,300 souls too. Ooh. Oh, this is scary. There is... I might only get one of the items that I wanted to get. Or, who knows, actually I have 10 flasks. I could outlive this. That was, one of them was the Crimson set. Very strong, especially for the early game. What I was going to fall off too. Yeah, this is proving interesting. What's up here? Like, I know exactly where the other item I want to get is, but the question is, can I get there? Oh, now I'm so dead here. Yeah, I need to go back down. Oh, this is stressful. This is why I wouldn't recommend too much of this run. The other one's definitely a lot more important than this. Don't poison me. Mission failed. Okay, so I got half the items I wanted. I lost 1,400 souls. That was probably 2 levels. Yeah, I will attempt to go back for them. Just because I don't know. I think those souls are gone, to be honest. You can't retrieve your lost souls. But actually, what we can do before we return back down there, we can actually give ourselves a bit of a buff. Thinking about it, I need to suicide the next part. I can't even homeward bone it to get out. So what we're going to do is we are going to use our large souls that we got. Still at 1,000 souls. 1,800 souls. Okay. I'm going to level us up to strength, so I can actually wield a stronger weapon. And I am actually going to equip insufficient strength. But what you can do is you actually, so this one-handed takes 24 strength to wield. However, you can wield it two-handed with 16 strength. Basically 1.5 times is the ratio in which, you know, the strength boost you get from two-handing is. So I am actually going to change my armor to the crimson clothes I got. Why? Because they are, as you see, compared to the knight armor, for a fraction of the weight, we're getting almost as good in physical stats, but if you look at all the other stats, they pretty much blow them away. So it will allow us to survive a lot more. I'm planning on surviving it. I'm really not. Move. Yeah, I'm poisoned. Right, poison is a lot less brutal than toxic. Toxic builds up, like damages you at a much higher rate, so I'm not too worried about getting toxic. Poisoned. I am still getting, there's still a lot of toxic dark blowers here that are going to hurt if I'm not careful. Ooh! Right, so I can only just take one shot. There we go, there's the toxic right there. I'm going to kill this guy here because he's annoying me. Wow, they're all annoying me. Right, yeah, I highly doubt I'm going to make it out of this alive. Can you heal, please? Alright, what are we actually going to do? Whew, how to do this? I won't have any toxic heals. I could just stay and out heal it. I could drop attack these guys. Let's do that. Let's drop attack. Can we pop a heal? Pop a heal! Pop a heal! No! Brutal. That was the item right there too.